So right now we're gonna be watching how much has Mr. Krabs stolen from their employees. Like how much has not been paying them. So with that being said, we also got a dispo right here. We're gonna be smoking. We're gonna be chilling. Hope you guys do enjoy the video. If you want to see more videos like this, hit the subscribe button, turn on post notifications, and get us to about 10 to 15 likes. With that being said, let's get into the video, and hopefully you guys do enjoy. 1 second.
Here's what a month's paycheck looks like at the Krusty Krab. And here's Mr. Krabs clawing back what he can.
That $2 is coming out of your paycheck.
Wait!
Eugene Krabs might run a tight ship, but when it comes to his employees, nothing is tighter than his wallet. So today, we're going to go through all the episodes of SpongeBob SquarePants to find out just how much money Mr. Krabs has stolen from his workers over the years. Starting with the time we find out what SpongeBob and Squidward's salaries really are. In the episode SpongeBob You're Fired, Mr. Krabs does some number crunching and realizes he can save up some cash by cutting things back, namely one of his employees.
Hey,
Well,
Mr.
he
Krabs,
cut back
what's a good
his
word?
most best
Actually,
employee.
SpongeBob,
If you think
there's
about
2
it,
words. And they're not very good.
you're fired.
You're fired.
Oh, Mr. What?
Okay, that's super harsh, but business is ruthless. Surely Krabs is forking out big time for a star fry cook like SpongeBob, right?
And it turns out that I'll save a whole nickel if I cut your salary.
A whole nick was
A
crazy.
nickel! He's been paying the best fry cook in all the seas a nickel. Not even an hour either. It's a
He
day.
said, "I
It's never really
could
confirmed
save
with
a
the show what
whole
Squidward
nickel."
makes, but he can't
Crazy.
be like any more or any less. So from here on out, we'll say that both the boys are paid a nickel a day, which is super depressing. Turns out they've been going through a cost of living crisis a lot longer than we have. Having seen how much he actually pays the pair now.
He pays them a nickel a day, not a nickel an hour. Bro, imagine getting paid a nickel a day. Live crash out moment right there, fam. Well, no, we can never get paid a nickel a day. Crash out.
Now let's go to the episode Penny Foolish to see just how money mad this guy really is. For once, we see Krabs being normal, heading to the grocery store to pick up some bits and bobs.
Okay, sir, your change today is
You
going
get
to
hit
be
with a car
exactly
after
10
that.
cents.
Come to Papa. Come to Papa. Hey!
It's literally 2 days of pay for SpongeBob right there. Talking to SpongeBob, Krabs
has
sees the
2
little
days
sponge
of
walking while he's in the
fun.
store and watches him do this.
Well, I'll be a geriatric jellyfish. SpongeBob found a penny. A bright, shiny penny just sitting there.
He just can't take it, can he? He's practically foaming at the mouth because SpongeBob snagged a penny and he didn't.
How
That jealousy
cheap is
soon becomes
Mr.
an obsession as
Krabs, bro? Like,
realizes
Mr. Krabs
he
is so
needs
fucking
that
cheap.
penny.
I'm just starting to realize
What can I do you for?
he's
I borrow a
not
penny?
an
A
episode
penny?
that goes on without him being cheap.
Sorry, all out of pennies right now.
Can you believe this guy? He has a net worth of $5.2 million and he's acting like this.
Wait, he has a net
audacity
worth
to
of
ask his
$5.2
employees to
million?
borrow money. To
What
be
the
fair,
fuck?
they'd
That
actually
nigga's
be able to
rich.
help if he paid them
Why
fairly.
is-
The obsession
bro,
gets out of hand and he ends
he's
up
living
facing
so
SpongeBob
poor,
who tells him
he
it was
saves up
never
a
a
whole
penny
bunch of
but some
money.
used gum.
Smart, but not
Well, actually,
smart.
they're both wrong, and this Krabs is karma.
Hey, this isn't gum at all. Just a dumb old $500 bill. This won't go with my chewed-up gum collection.
$500? I did the math. That's 33 years worth of wages for SpongeBob. We'll go into in more detail later, but
That's
he makes on
crazy.
average $15 a year, which is basically like a dozen eggs these days. Being a tightwad is
$15
bound to
a
catch
year?
Mr. K sooner or later. In the
Nah,
episode of
I'm
Born
quitting
Again
that job
Krabs, a little
faster
visit
than
from a paranormal
fast.
pushes him to see how cheap
Bro,
he
if they're
really
getting
was.
paid
It all
that low,
starts when
why are they
SpongeBob
still
finds an
working? They're like,
odd,
what's
old,
the
rotten
minimum
patty
wage in
underneath the
Bikini
grill.
Bottom,
Krabs
bro?
figures he'll
I need
save
to
a few
look that
cents
up.
by
I need to
sending it
watch a
out for a
video like
customer
that
to
next.
eat.
Like, what's the
Fire
minimum
up,
wage in
Squidward.
Bikini Bottom, like, bro?
Alright.
What? Being paid a nickel a day and surviving off of that.
SpongeBob, could I get one with less fog?
The customer turns his nose up at that monstrosity, but Krabs doesn't stop there. He forces the Krusty Crew to sell that bad patty before they can sell a fresh one. Obviously, no one wants to deal with that disgusting hockey puck, and they avoid coming to the Krusty Krab. So to prove to everyone just how good this patty still is, Krabs has a bite.
SpongeBob,
Yes, Mr. Krabs.
make sure you wrap up that patty. I'm not finished with it yet.
Bro,
While he's
what?
recovering, Krabs has an unexpected visitor, and he is not bringing good news.
I'm here to escort you to the resting place of all bad undersea folk. Davy Jones' Locker.
Like every person being
Jones
dragged down to
locker.
hell, the Flying Dutchman offers Krabs one last chance at living, but he has to change his ways.
I'll give you
I don't know,
another
he
chance,
said Davy
but you
Jones,
must always
Dandy,
be
David
generous.
Jones, some shit.
Never cheap.
You have me word as a sailor.
And to be fair to Krabs, he lives up to his word and starts splashing the cash.
Excuse me, but I dropped my Krabby Patty. Could I get another one?
SpongeBob?
Yes, sir. Krusty Krab policy clearly states that once the burger has reached the customer, it is his/her responsibility.
SpongeBob! That's the old policy. Now run back and bring out a fresh one.
Aye,
So that's
sir.
funny. What was the
Sorry about
policy?
Confusion. Free policy.
Reach the customer.
SpongeBob?
Yes,
As
sir.
soon as it reaches the customer's responsibility. What?
Krusty Krab policy clearly states that once the burger has reached the customer, it is his/her responsibility.
Crazy. So like, once it's not in their hands no more, you drop it. That's on you. They're gonna make you buy another one. I dropped my burger. That's on you. I gave it to you. It was in your hands. You dropped it. Now you gotta come buy another one. I mean that's not a good way to make money, but I don't know. Like, I would expect, oh, can you cover this one? But that's crazy.
SpongeBob! That's the old policy.
I mean,
Now run
unless
back and bring out a
some
fresh one.
restaurants do it like that in real life.
Sorry
But,
about the confusion.
oh, you had it last.
He's even installed the
you
whole
have to pay for
TV
another
system
one. You
so
had it
Krabby Patty
last.
customers can watch while they eat.
Are you enjoying your in-meal movie?
This movie hasn't even been in the theaters yet.
No expense spared for my valued customers.
Problem is, being this generous comes at a cost, and Krabs is about to take a look at his bill.
Only $10,000. That's not so bad. I'll just subtract it from today's profit. And there's no money in
$10,000.
here.
Krabs might have done a complete 180, but he's gotten too far the other way. Never mind paying his bills, he can't even pay his employees, and Squidward notices this himself.
Squidward, I'm worried about Mr. Krabs.
Me too. How are we gonna get paid? Gee, Mr. Krabs, you sure are taking total bankruptcy well.
Oh, it's just a bad dream. I'll wake up soon.
So this is the proper time we can mark Krabs down for wage theft. His Bikini Bottom is close to Hawaii, and Hawaii's minimum wage is $14 an hour. Krabs would owe
14 an
Sponge
hour.
and Squid $280 in total for that day's shift. This episode ends with Krabs going manic, trying to claw back what money he can, but that just grabs the attention of the
Wait,
Flying
wait.
Dutchman,
How much
who
is
swoops
minimum
in to go
wage?
and post theft. His Bikini paid $280 in total for that day's shift. This episode ends with Krabs going manic, trying to claw back what money he can, but in Hawaii's minimum wage is $14 an hour. Ends with Krabs
Minimum wage is
solution.
$14
You
an
had
hour.
to choose between
Crazy.
SpongeBob and all the money I have in my pocket. Which would you take?
That depends. How much money we talking about?
Mr. Krabs!
62 cents.
I'll take the money.
62 cents.
Krabs!
Sell SpongeBob's soul for 62 cents.
I
which is
know,
less
that's
than
just
SpongeBob
fucking
makes
crazy.
in 2 weeks worth of work. We've
62 motherfucking cents. Imagine, like, let's say someone stopped you and your friend, and they go to your friend, right? Let's say they go to your friend. How much would you, let's say, sell her for? Would you sell it for 62 cents? And they go like, yeah. You would be like, damn, that's crazy. You're selling me for 62 cents. That's crazy. Nah. I don't know. I'll be by comparison, because I'd be like, man, if I was my friend, I'd be like, man, I can sell them for less. You want for a penny? But nah. But imagine someone selling you for 62 cents, and they actually be like, oh yeah, for a penny, Ben, they actually take them. That's just crazy. I don't know. That was a bad comparison. But
got a
let's just
double dose of
continue the video,
creepy
fam.
now as we
Let's
head on
continue
over to
the
the
video,
episode
fam.
Graveyard Shift, where Krabs realizes if he keeps the Krusty Krab open at night, he'll get a few extra bucks.
Money? You mean if we stayed open later, you'd give us your money?
Sure.
Mr. Squidward, welcome to the night shift. From now on, the Krusty Krab is open 24 hours a day.
He doesn't even listen to his employees' worries or gives them any specific
24
instructions for what to
hours
do.
a
He
day.
just gets the hell out of there.
See you in the morning, boy.
that means, what if they need to go to sleep? Who's gonna replace them? Who's gonna be their cover? You know, if they can't go to sleep, they gotta work day in, day out for 365 days a year.
I I can't hang out
I
here
gotta
all
say
night.
265, but
I gotta
I would
let
have been totally wrong. Off
SpongeBob
by
isn't
100
exactly
days.
upset that he has to do more
365.
work, though. You know what he's like.
Night, 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 night,
24/7,
night,
365.
night, 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 night.
Will you please? Here,
I wonder if
give me
they
a
even have
Morris
days
piece and
off.
take out the trash.
Problem is, the little guy is used to taking out the trash in the daytime, and now, well, it's a little more creepy.
For the Krusty Krab.
For the Krusty Krab.
Seeing SpongeBob clearly scared of the dark, Squid starts to spin a tale about the hash-slinging slasher, or grizzly fry cook who haunts the Krusty Krab on Wednesday night, and to signal his haunting, there's 3 telltale signs.
First, the lights will flicker on and off. Next.
Dude, can I have some ketchup?
Oh, here you go.
There goes the dramatic tension.
Next,
Can I have
the
some
phone will
ketchup?
ring, and there will be nobody there. And finally, the hash-slinging slasher arrives in the ghost of the bus that ran him over.
You gotta hand it to him, Squidward can tell a good story. Well, it turns out the story kinda comes true, called a mad coincidence or just some hallucinations from working so late, but the signs start showing up one by one until the hash-slinging slasher is facing them.
Quarterback.
The sash ringing!
The slasher is
Bro,
facing her, some who
that's-
tell a good story. Well, it
That's
turns out
crazy, bro. Squidward told a fake story to SpongeBob, and that story started becoming true, bro. Imagine telling a story that you thought was completely fake or whatever, and then that story later becomes true, happening the way you said it, exactly how you said it. I'd be like, nah, that's crazy. I would have been, I would have been surprised. Wow, that should have been funny, you know. But yeah,
the story
This-
kinda comes
this
true,
is
called a mad
funny.
coincidence or just some hallucinations from working so late, but the signs start showing up one by one until the hash-slinging slasher is facing them.
The sash ringing! The flash singing! The bash pinging!
The hash-slinging slasher.
But it is just their imaginations getting the better of themselves.
Get away, get away, get away, get away, welcome here.
oh, it is their imaginations, but
Can I have
imagine.
a job application? I brought my own spatula. I called earlier, but I hung up because I was nervous.
See, Krabs, this is what you
Bro, nah, bro, what's their imagination and shit? But that's funny though. That's still funny. But shit, that's what not sleeping could do to you. You're gonna fucking hallucinate, and your eyes are gonna get the better of you.
drive your workforce to going insane on the job by being made to work endlessly. Luckily, though, the Krusty Krab goes back to its usual schedule as Krabs realizes he doesn't get as much business as he thought. But he owes SpongeBob and Squidward $672 between them for their 24-hour shift. Not the 2 nickels he'll try to pay them with. Well, we've just seen a short-lived 24-hour stint for the Krusty Krab, but in fear of a Krabby Patty, Krabs pushes everyone to their limit when Plankton forces him to open his restaurant 24/7 for over a month.
The Krusty Krab is open 24 hours!
Did you hear that, Squidward? We get to keep working and working without ever having to go home. I gotta pinch myself because I must be dreaming.
That's
After 10
crazy.
days of non-stop service, Squidward is near total exhaustion.
Mr. Krabs, can I go home yet?
No one goes home!
Look at these bags under my eyes. Even my bags have
Damn, so Mr. Krabs owes SpongeBob and Squidward $954 right now, bro. Can y'all see this? Let me see. Let me see if y'all can see this. Yeah, y'all can see this a little bit. Let me move it out y'all's way real quick. That was just one thing I need to know if y'all can see it. We'll bring it down just for this video. Just for this video, fam. Bring it down. But yeah. Now let's get back to the video, fam.
bags.
SpongeBob, on the other hand, is
Sure.
actually holding up quite well.
KRABBYPATTY says I.
That's kind of scary when you realize he's been awake for 10 whole days and isn't even the slightest bit sleepy. And Plankton thinks so too. So he comes up with a plan to make the sponge seriously drained, ordering 10,000 Krabby Patties.
10,000 Krabby Patties.
I need you to raise that spatula, and I need you to say Team Krusty Krab.
Team Krusty Krab!
Now make me
Bro.
10,000 patties.
Imagine your manager coming up to you, right? Let's say you work in, I used to work in fast food, right? Let's say you work in fast food. Let's say you work at McDonald's, Wendy's, Whataburger, or fucking pizza, whatever. And then you go like, I'm talking about like whatever, any fast food. Right? And they say, I need, right? And they tell you, I need 10,000 pizzas, 10,000 tacos, 10,000 burgers, you know, whatever your fast food you work in. You just look at your manager and be like, yeah, I'm clocking out. Nah, SpongeBob, he takes it a whole different way. He wants to make that 10,000 burgers be out, but nah, I'm clocking out, fam. Go holler at freaking Jose and another whatever who else you can find.
No breaks.
They've been working flat
Jose
out.
and
He's just
Albert
giving SpongeBob
will
the biggest
holler
order
at
of his fry
them.
cook career, and still
Holler-
Krabs says no
holler at
breaks. I knew he was
Bob.
bad, but it's starting to get inhumane. With that big order under his belt, SpongeBob and Squidward start racing through the days of non-stop service.
Day 23.
6,600.
Day
8,600.
Wait, what's going on?
30. I don't want to know how many days it's been. I lost track.
43.
But
said
not even
43.
SpongeBob can take 43 days of work without rest. And if you thought Squidward looked bad, take a look at this.
You're wasting all my food.
Oh, SpongeBob, he looks like he's on, you know what? He's on that. Hey, fam, you got $5. Can I get a little $5?
SpongeBob's
You need to,
exhaustion
like,
ends up giving him a total nervous
SpongeBob,
breakdown to the point he
you need to
develops
relax.
hallucinations and fear
You gotta
of
chill
Krabby
off
Patties.
that, you
Now you're
know
just
what?
acting silly. I want you to.
Don't eat me! I'm too chewy!
Everything turned into freaking
Plankton then
Krabby
tries to be his
Patties.
therapist and hypnotizes him into giving up the patty formula, but thanks to another hallucination, this time of a cool Krabby Patty, SpongeBob overcomes his fear. So with 43 days of non-stop work,
43
SpongeBob
days.
and Squidward should have banked $14,480 each, but at their base minimum wage salary and with no overtime, the pair actually came away with $2.15.
Nah, imagine working 43 days and getting $2.15. You know, go to your manager and be like, "What's this? I was supposed to get paid $14,000." Nah, fam, you only got paid $2.15. You know, be like, "What? What's my fucking? How much I'm getting paid?" And now you're getting paid a nickel. Well, you told me I was getting paid 15. I lied to you, fam. You're getting paid a nickel. Man, what? I've been furious. Take everything out of the register. The register is mine. I'm gonna take everything out the safe. The safe is mine. Boom. Walk out. You know? And shit out of luck.
No, that's not a mistake. Remember, Krabs pays them a nickel a day, so he's only off by $28,955. Now, that is some serious wage theft. So far, Mr. Krabs' ways have cost SpongeBob and Squidward $29,907. That's over a full year's wage for a regular fast food worker. And believe me, things are about to explode. We're about to find out why Mr. Krabs has so much money. Because when we get down to the brass taxes, the crustaceous cheapskate has never really cared for his employees. Like the time he decides he isn't satisfied paying SpongeBob in real money. This dastardly plan comes to light when Krabs orders SpongeBob to give Pearl some extra mall money. Yeah, he's even trying to get his employees to pay for his daughter.
Hey, this isn't money.
No, it's even better. This is what Mr. Krabs pays me with. Mr. Krabs is Wacky Bucks.
Oh, it's all starting to catch up with me.
It sure is, Eugene. Now, we've no real idea when he started using the fake cash, so we can't backdate any of SpongeBob's pay, but we do know that a day's wage of the Krusty Krab is $140, so we'll add that to the tally. Stealing a whole day's pay is nothing for Eugene, though. Like, what about the time where we see him cancel an entire month's pay just because he's in a bit of a crabby mood?
Gee, why's Mr. Krabs so crabby today?
Probably because it's payday.
Payday's been canceled.
This guy
He
should be in
said,
jail. He's built an
"Payday's
entire
been
fast food empire
canceled."
on slave labor. There's another 9,180.
Bro, that's crazy. Imagine going up to, are you going up to your manager, and they're like, let's say you go up to your manager, right? And you're like, when am I getting paid? He's like, what do you mean paid? He's like, yeah, when am I getting paid? And he's like, man, I ain't paying you. Get out my office. Nah, crash out time. And he's like, payday canceled. Nah, even more crash out time. Still in it, motherfucking whip. Boom, found. I'm not working if I'm not getting paid.
$84 in employees' pay he pinches. Well, guess worse. What about the time he hires Patrick and puts him on the employee probation program?
It was sure nice of Mr. Krabs to give me a job.
And at $50 an hour, too. When I started working here, I had to pay Mr. Krabs $100 an hour.
Whoa, hold up. When you first start working at the Krusty Krab, you have to pay Mr. Krabs to work there. Patrick only ends up working one day there for like 10 hours, so he shells out $500. But then he'd also be owed his actual wage, which would then be an extra $140. If you think that's bad, though, SpongeBob had to fork $100 an hour for like 3 months. If we look at the Krusty Krab opening times, we can see SpongeBob and Squidward work 82 hours a week. So if we do some quick math, and multiply 100 by 82 and then multiply that by 13, because fun fact, there's 13 weeks and 3 months, SpongeBob will have paid Krabs $106,600 just to start work. We can safely assume Squidward did the same too, so that's another 106 grand that Krabs has stolen. But he technically also owes the actual minimum wage on top of all that, which is a further $29,848 for both Squidward and SpongeBob, as well as Pat 640, meaning Krabs' probation program has allowed him to steal $243,688. Being charged to work is one thing, but in Squid on Strike, Krabs goes off the deep end to money manias. He starts charging his employees for literally breathing after he finds out profits are falling.
Money, money, this money, money, that profit will make me wallet fat. What? Profit's down $3 from last month. I gotta start running a tighter ship around here.
Oh no,
$3.
Not a whole $3. Normally you'd chalk that down to customer variance, but Krabs doesn't. Instead, he goes on a money-obsessed rampage through the Krusty Krab, where he starts to butt heads with Squidward.
Breathe on your own time. I don't pay you to breathe.
You hardly pay us at all.
Speaking of pay, Mr. Krabs realizes that it's actually payday for the Krusty Crew, but like I said a second ago, he's the one wanting to be paid.
Yes, you're making me pay you to stand at the cash register? What is the meaning of this? Have you gone off the deep end?
Imagine having the cheek to bill your employees $20 for this trash. I mean, $2 for existing? What is this, the Lorax? I'd actually be a bit annoyed. I was employing more of my boss. But then again, that's the whole point. Krabs tells the Krusty Crew that things are going to be different around the kitchen from now on, because he'll be billing them 24/7 for their nonsense.
18, 19. Here you go, Mr. K. I think this should cover all my nonsense. Oh, and here's an extra 50 cents for when I was tying my shoe.
Come on, SpongeBob, you meant to stick it to the man. I'd say he was being too soft, but he's a sponge. Luckily, though, for once, Squidward sticks up for him and demands fair pay from Krabs, or else he's gonna organize a full-on work strike. Problem is, when Krabs finds out, he does the unthinkable.
You mean you're gonna make picket signs? And you're gonna make protest speeches?
Oh, Squidward! You didn't tell me I was gonna get fired!
Aw, the poor little guy. But getting him to protest against Krabs is a little harder than Squid thought it'd be.
Now we're gonna make picket signs. Very important part of striking.
Like this, Squidward?
Not a picket fence, you ding-dong picket sign!
But actually, he does get the hang of it, and while striking, he runs into a young fan.
You must be SpongeBob SquarePants! Dude, you are like a fry cook legend! Will you sign my spatula?
Anything for an aspiring fry cook. So, did you come down to help out the cause?
I came to take your job. Hey, thanks, dude!
SpongeBob has been gone for, what, an hour? And Krabs has already replaced him? Well, things are not going well for Squidward either. It suddenly hit him that he and SpongeBob are going to be doing this for a long time. Maybe even...
Even if it takes forever!
Squidward figures that he has to come to an agreement with Krabs to avoid a future where he's stuck with SpongeBob, so he races at the Krusty Krab, but before he can get through his front door, he's got a visitor.
Evening, Mr. Squidward. I was just in the neighborhood, and I thought I'd drop by to beg you to come back to work. The Krusty Krab is a wreck!
Well, isn't that a coincidence? Squidward decides to play it cool, though, hoping to squeeze whatever he can out of his former boss.
I'm ruined without you and the little yellow guy. Teenagers I hired is ruining the place, and the worst part is, they won't leave me alone!
All right, Mr. Krab!
Squidward, please
All
give
right,
us
Mr. Krab.
Anything we want?
anything. So what do you say, Mr. Squidward?
Your story breaks my heart, Mr. Krabs. Why
He's
don't we
gonna
take a
call
walk
Mr.
and
Krabs out
discuss
of
my terms?
I got a
everything.
bad feeling in the pit of me wallet.
Only problem is, while the pair are under intense negotiations, SpongeBob has become obsessed with sticking it to the man to the point, well, see for yourself.
Glad you saw it our way, Mr. Krabs.
Now I can fire them teenagers. Golden Boy's back. Well, see it work.
And old Krabs sure don't take it too well.
Squidward! SpongeBob!
Here it comes!
In order to pay off these damages, you two are gonna work for me forever!
Yahoo!
The estimated cost of the Krusty Krab is $389,600, and at the minimum wage in Hawaii being at around $26K per year, that's 15 years worth of free employment. Howdy do! But as we know, Krabs does not pay minimum wage. He's got the boys on a nickel a day, and at that rate, he'll have to work 21,347 years for free to get that debt paid off, or that's 10,673 years if Squiddy pays half. Problem is, octopi only live for a fairly short amount of time, while on average, sea sponges can live for a few odd hundred years. So if we say SpongeBob shoulders the brunt of the work, and at 200 years a pop, including the value of the Krusty Krab, Krabs would have stolen an estimated $8,589,600 from these two. And if it was up to Eugene, he'd have them working while they're dead. Now it's time to talk about the stuff we can't exactly see on the show. SpongeBob has been working for Mr. Krabs since about 1999.
That was the finest fast foodsmanship I've ever seen, Mr. Squarepants.
Mr. Krabs stole $8 million, almost $9 million from these two, bro. And that's each. That's each. $8 million each. So that's $16 million right there.
And Squidward, we know he's been working there way longer than Sponge. He even had hair when he first started.
Like 20
we should open our own restaurant and stop lining Old Man K's pockets.
No thanks. I'm just doing this until my clarinet career takes off.
What if it never does?
That's said to be around 5 years before SpongeBob starts working at the Krusty Krab. So starting with a little yellow sponge, all right? Working 82 hours a week for 26 years has netted him $5,116. That's going on the nickel a day salary, by the way. $6,100 for Squiddy, too. When you start talking about numbers like this, you realize just how bad this is. In that time, SpongeBob and Squidward should have earned $1,432,704 and $1,708,224. And when you take away what they were actually paid, Mr. Krabs is pinched in extra $3,129,228. That's just the run-of-the-mill day-to-day stuff too. No wonder the dude's a multi-millionaire. It might be the most famous and tastiest fast food restaurant under the sea, but the Krusty Krab is built on the backs of other people doing the dirty work for essentially free. Over the course of their Krusty careers, SpongeBob and Squidward have had a grand...
Imagine you're supposed to be a multi-millionaire, but your boss is stealing most of your money. What would you do? You would be crashing out. I would crash out too. I don't blame you.
$12,001,075 of wages stolen from them by the Eugene Krabs.
Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-chingery. Money, oh money, how I love thee.
Greedy businessman is a small fry.
That's crazy, fam. Mr. Krabs stole $12 million from SpongeBob Squidward. Imagine if someone stole $12 million from you. I bet you that person wouldn't be alive, would they? Nah, fam, they wouldn't. Fuck, imagine. Nah, I can't even. Cause, bro, someone stole $12 million from me. I can't even tell you what I'm gonna do to go find them or whatever. Cause, bro, the $12 million, that shit's a lot. Unless you're fucking Jeff Bezos or the creator of Microsoft. And that's just fucking pocket change. But, man, $12 million. I would be mad as fuck. But with that being said, that's gonna be the end of the video. Hope you guys do enjoy. If you do enjoy, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, get this video to about 10-15 likes. I'll see you guys in the next one.